Well, thanks for tuning in. Heading out on another solo canoe trip. Today I'm in a place that I've been many times. You've seen it featured before in my videos. I'm back in Big Island Lake Wilderness. It's September 19th, I believe. September 19th. And we're just getting into the good fall colors. We're not peak yet, but looking forward to being out here and enjoying some quiet time. Sounds like some wind is supposed to kick up today and tomorrow, and possibly some scattered rain showers, but oh well, we'll make the best of it. All right, made it here to camp. Now it's time to get to work, get camp set up, get unloaded, and get some lunch. All right, I got camp all set up and I'm about to sit down finally and get some lunch. But yeah, I'll show you around camp here. I've stayed here before, probably quite a few times. And yeah, it just gets a little more worn each time, and that's to be expected. Alright, here's camp for a couple nights. Got the rain fly over there. Tent here. Apparently there's some weird rule that you have to set your tent up within 15 feet of that post over there. Don't quite get that. If the ground's not suitable, you're going to set up where you have a good flat level spot. I understand you don't want to be putting tents all over the place, but yeah, 15 feet is a little close to the fire here as well, so, but that's where my tent is over there. I think it's fine. Unfortunately, this site is not right on the water. You're up. This is an island site, and yeah, so you have to walk up and down to get to the canoe, but yeah, years ago the campsite used to be right down there, but they moved it probably because of erosion issues. So, but yeah, still like this site. Nice, peaceful, quiet. Looks like the sun's trying to come out. Little patches of blue sky. That would be really nice. Little PBJ ought to hit the spot. I usually keep my lunches pretty simple out here. Nothing too major. I rarely fire up my stove for lunch. I save that for breakfast and dinner. You know, since I got here, I've been busy doing camp chores, and finally took a little time to sit down and relax and give my back a rest. Yeah, sometimes when you are camping solo, you do all the work. There's nobody to share the load with, so it keeps you busy. But it's nice to just sit and relax and just listen to the peace and quiet. All I hear is the breeze blowing through the trees and an occasional loon call. That's all I really hear. But I wanted to take a few minutes to just chat with you about this past couple of weeks. As many of you know, I don't know how you couldn't know if you live in the United States. It's been a very difficult couple of weeks with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and a lot of rhetoric on both sides, and just going back and forth. Regardless of how you felt about him, I think it's time for people to just take a moment and just step back and stop and think about the seriousness of what you say in social media. And we can shoot our mouth off on Facebook or on YouTube, and we have the freedom to do that. And I'm thankful that I live in a country where I have the freedom and the right to speak my mind. That's all Charlie was doing. He was bold, and he asked difficult questions. He said things that people didn't like, but he spoke the truth. And if you disagree with me about that, that's okay. I would just kindly ask that just because you disagree with me or disagree with anyone doesn't mean that you have to hate them. I just don't understand the level of hate and how you can disagree with somebody and not just leave it at that. It turns to a deep-seated hate, and I just don't understand that. We live in a world that's difficult enough as it is, and I would just ask you all to, if you're the praying kind, just say a prayer that things will settle down, and we can come together as a country. Even with all of our differences, it's okay to disagree. I disagree with my family sometimes. I disagree with my wife, but I still love her. And I would just ask for a little civility. A little civility for all of us to get through this time. And I know we all have our political differences, religion, all that kind of stuff, but we're going through a tough time right now, and this world needs some light. Shine your light. Don't spread darkness. And it's no secret. I mean, I think if you're listening to me this long, you get my drift. I'm a follower of Christ, and I'm not ashamed of that. And I just believe that if people would turn their eyes toward Jesus, this world would be a much better place. Kindness, patience. We all need a little more of that. All right, well, I'll stop my sermon now. But I just thought, it'd be good to share my thoughts. I don't do that very often on my videos, and so if you don't want to hear this, I'm sorry. But, I make these videos, and, I guess I have the right to say what I want to in them, and if you don't like that, then you can just move on, but be nice about it. Don't make any nasty comments. We don't need that. So anyway, gonna relax for a little bit, and then I'm gonna start dinner here. And the finished product. So I decided to stay in camp tonight. I didn't go out in the canoe. I went out for quite a while this afternoon and canoed here obviously too. So yeah, my back's bothering me a little bit. So I figured I'd take it easy in camp, do some reading, kind of just hang out here. Gonna get a fire going in a little bit. But yeah, seems like my canoe trips are getting less ambitious, and that's okay. I'm not the 30-year-old guy I used to be. You know, I'm twice that age now, almost 63, and the fact that I still do this is, you know, I'm happy I can, and I hope I can do it for many more years. But I have noticed that I do need to slow down a little bit, not bite off more than I can chew, and just keep it simple. Base camping's okay. So yeah, but yeah, gonna get a little fire going here in a little bit, and then we'll call it good for today. Breakfast. Good morning. First things first, always coffee. And on this morning's menu is maple and brown sugar oatmeal. It was a quiet night last night. Had a good night's sleep. We got a squirrel messing around over there. Anyway, it was a good night, quiet, wind died down. It's pretty calm right now. It's partly cloudy. They say there's a chance of showers today, and it could get quite windy, so we'll just see what today brings. I do plan on getting out and maybe going over to Townline Lake, but we'll just have to see how conditions turn out. And yeah, so hope to have a good day. I picked up a new water filter after my last trip. On my Hiker Pro, a small part cracked and broke, and I looked online for a replacement part, and the cost of the replacement part was almost as much as a new water filter. So I decided to get a gravity filter. I've had these before and I really liked it, and I'm going to give this one a try. It's the Catadine Be Free. It's the Be Free 3-liter gravity filter. So we'll see how this does. So far I'm really liking it. It's done a great job. I've got a adapter. I can just put this right on my Nalgene bottles, and yeah, it's real slick. So we'll see how it goes. I know over time they slow down, but there's supposed to be a way to clean it, and yeah, we'll see. Alright, finally headed out. I just got a short paddle to my first portage over to Mid Lake, and it's really a short portage. But with all my gear, you know, I'm just gonna walk it over and not bother to pack it up like I would for a normal portage. But yeah, there's a light breeze, but other than that, it's a beautiful morning. Well, I'm on Townline Lake now. Beautiful lake. There's a couple of swans out here. Yeah, and an eagle's flying by right now. Well, of course, that's all too far away to show up on the GoPro. And yeah, light breeze, not too bad. I think it's coming out of the east, so I can kind of gauge where I need to be shoreline-wise. There's also loons singing out here. And of course, every time I turn the camera on, they stop. But believe me, there's a lot of loons singing here, so our loons calling. So yeah, very nice. The colors are starting to pop. Just not there yet, but they will be. Well. Well, I decided to call it quits. This afternoon, after having lunch, I was seriously dehydrated. I feel I did get myself somewhat hydrated again, but yeah, I have a really horrible headache that just won't go away, and I really am not enjoying myself right now, and I hate to leave because it's so beautiful and serene here, but yeah, the weather in the morning also doesn't sound that great too, and nobody likes packing up in the rain and then fighting wind to get out. But, and you know, honestly, if I had driven a long distance to come here, I would stay. I mean, I'm not going to just bail after driving a long distance, but at the same time, this is basically in my backyard, so if I'm not feeling it, then I'm just going home. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, things don't always go as planned. I need to get home, get myself hydrated, get some electrolytes, have a good supper. And there's always going to be a next time, so I'm not worried about that. So Alrighty.